Morning, folks. Actually, it's afternoon. Sorry about that. This is Deb Delapiere, and this is your short take. Hey, we're going to talk a little bit about the Republicans and law and order. Okay, the Republicans who are constantly out there alleging that the Democrats are soft on crime. Okay, that's one of their running points for the midterm elections. While the Republicans, remain focused on that bullshit, the Democrats are trying to get people interested in the fact that all of their rights are going away. But the American people don't seem to be too interested in that. We're going to talk about that in a little while in a separate video. But we're going to talk about this notion that the Republicans are the law and order party. So before we share screen, let's talk about some of the things they're alleging. They're alleging that violent crime rose 28% from 2019 to 2020 because the Democrats are soft on crime. The fact of the matter is that while that rose 28%, gun homicides rose 35%. And that's largely because it's so much easier to get guns now. In fact, since the Sandy Hook killing, gun laws have been relaxed everywhere. And the Supreme Court has had a hand in that. The right-wing stacked Supreme Court has had a hand in that. They are right now basically telling New York, the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, who put directives in place about where guns can and cannot be carried, for example, on subways, in hospitals, schools. They're about to overturn everything she has done because your Second Amendment rights matter more than people being alive, apparently. But let's talk about this whole law and order thing. The fact of the matter is that the Democratic-run cities spend more on crime than the Republican-led cities. And the reality is they spend 38% more on policing per person than Republican-run cities. And 80% of the biggest cities increased police funding from 2019 to 2022. So the construct of the Republican argument is absurd on its face from the beginning. But the notion that any of these people are law and order kind of, candidates, that all should be out of your mind right now, because that is a flat out lie. Let's start here. Let's start with Ronnie Jackson, who is now a congressman, but who was the White House doctor during the Trump administration. He was investigated in 2018 by the Inspector General. I will show you this report. This will be, available on the YouTube version of this video. Here's the Inspector General's report. And the Inspector General report says that this is right from the report now. He drank and used prescription drugs while on duty, including Ambien on flights, which made it, questionable as to whether he could carry out his duties, should he be required. It also states that he made denigrating statements about one of his female medical subordinates to another of his subordinates. He specifically said that his female subordinate had great, should I say it, tits and a nice ass. That's exactly what he said. And he would like to see more of her tattoos. It says that he drank and got loud and acted inappropriately on trips that he would have to attend, they would have to be on to take care of Donald Trump. And it also said that he embellished Donald Trump's fitness. Now, in all fairness to this report, some of the other allegations that they couldn't prove, they stated that they couldn't prove them. And, they were just hearsay. But regardless of the fact that those didn't pan out, none of this is okay for a man who is supposed to be the White House doctor. Okay. This is not what you want to see in your government. I'm sorry, folks, but it's a little lowbrow. So take a look at the report. I know I can't put it in the TikTok videos, but there is going to be a version of this up on our YouTube channel. I will put the link to the YouTube channel on TikTok. Should you want to go there and avail yourself of any of this information, I would recommend it, but hey, that's up to you. Jim Jordan. There's an entire website dedicated to the fact that he was the assistant wrestling coach at Ohio State at the time when the doctor was sexually abusing up to 200 students, 200 players who were attending Ohio State. And, you know, this is not just a blog. This actually has links to information and data. They testified. These people testified and openly stated that he begged them not to report this. He told one student who came to him and told him what was going on that he did not want to be involved. This is a sitting member of fucking Congress, people. Let's talk about Lauren Boebert, who had a rap sheet before she got elected. And the only reason she got elected was because she strapped on a Glock and told Beto O'Rourke he wasn't taking guns away. And everybody got wet behind the ears and all excited and decided to put a check next to the name in the box next to her name. She has a bunch of misdemeanor arrests, but any woman who's claiming to be a law and order congresswoman who doesn't bother to show up for court cases or pay her fines can't honestly say that she has any respect for the legal system. Then let's go up to the big guy. This guy's got his own fucking website. Just Security has an entire litigation tracker of cases that are pending against Donald Trump. And these are criminal as well as civil cases. You can just avail yourself of any of this information. It's a huge docket of cases. It's amazing. And he is about to give a deposition in a case where he was accused of raping a woman. This is the president of the fucking United States. Okay? This is a man you want to put back in power. And while we're at it, let's talk about this. The fake electors, we now know, according to Ronna McDaniel, who was the head of the RNC at the time, that the directive for the fake electors came directly from Donald Trump and John Eastman. If you want to know who those electors are, there's your complete list with details on all of them. The rest of the GOP are a pack of frauds. These may not be criminal, but they sure are egregious. You know, Dr. Oz in a video comforted a woman whose life was affected by gun violence. He didn't tell anybody, of course, that she was actually a paid staffer. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has implored the Supreme Court to overturn same-sex marriage, even though she's getting a divorce from her husband. You know, she wants them to overturn same-sex marriage because it's unchristian. Well, you know what, last I heard, so was divorce. And so was having affairs, which she has not hidden. It has been out in the open. And there are people who have actually seen this. This is the ultimate in hypocrisy, people. These people are absolutely not the law and order party. The party is full of grifters and criminals, racists, bigots, anti-Semites, white supremacists, Christian nationalists, but not law and order. We're going to come back. When I come back, we're going to talk about some other things. One of the videos will be about immigrants, and I will see you later.